Hey, thanks for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and hope you all enjoy it. Have a great rest of the day. Hello, y'all. Hope you all are having a good day today. Anyways, we're going to do something a little bit different today. We are actually here at the Navy SEAL Museum here in Fort Pierce, Florida, as you all can see. Warning, military dog on premises. Anyways, we will be walking around the museum and checking it out and seeing all the cool stuff that's around here, and we're going to try to look at as much of it as we can, and go from there and see all the boats and some of the statues and some of the cool little things around here. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated. Just walking in the house. Just walked in.
Oh my God, it's exploded. Well, we're going to number 5 if that's possible. It can't be somebody who has the authority to get filtered here now. Authenticate. We're also lost American 77.
David, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're looking at live pictures of the Pentagon.
Okay, there's down on the United 93. There's a report of black smoke in the last position I gave you.
The terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001 were a turning point for the Navy SEALs. Once a unique group deployed independently, their special skills are now integrated into a comprehensive military strategy and a new war on terror. This war is unlike any war the United States has ever fought.
I must remind you that while today's operations are visible, many other operations may not be so visible.
An unconventional war against a shattered enemy that is often hidden amongst a peaceful population. And to fight this unconventional war, the U.S. has had to rely on its own unconventional warriors, like the Navy SEALs. Special Operations Forces reinforced the war to battle this new threat.
This is pretty interesting how they have the gun hooked to the back and all that stuff.
Neutralizing threats. Today's SEALs train and protecting collaboration with the FBI, CIA, NSA, and the Defense Intelligence Agency in gathering and sharing intelligence.
AK-47
To assist in the overall war on terror,
represents a threat,
while helping to maintain law and order
and
and
Osama
protect
bin
civilians.
Laden is killed. The entire assault to
Osama bin Laden's compound right here, Osama bin Laden.
searches on for a wealth of intelligence in bin Laden's personal papers and computers.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world. The United States has conducted an operation to kill Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, a terrorist. If Pakistan is unable or unwilling to hunt down bin Laden and take him out, then we should.
Yet after 10 years of war, Osama bin Laden remains at large
These are some very nice
until American intelligence identifies a
goggles.
high-level Al-Qaeda courier
That's
known
pretty
as
interesting.
Al-Kuwaiti. They track him to the city of Abbottabad in Pakistan, about 70 miles north of Islamabad. The CIA finds a suspicious compound surrounded by high walls and razor wire. They observe the compound for several months, gathering intelligence. final order to take down Bin Laden. Operation Neptune Spear is now underway.
Night vision.
Parce qu'ils étaient deux à la barre, ils étaient deux normalement. Il y avait deux fois deux Chinook.
September 11, 2011.
Has Leopold stuff.
Signals a new chapter for the Navy SEALs.
I want to see what they said about that night force 3.5. Which one is that?
Those shifted elusive led by Osama bin Laden.
There's that one right up there.
Wait, here's another one. Oh, look.
Setting it in.
Scope. Night vision scope. Look at these guns. How much they freaking weigh? That right here. Let's see how much that weighs. Look at that hook on the front.
25 pounds. This is the Patelli plummet gun. Is this one right here? Weighs about 20 feet or 25 pounds, and effective range is about 100 feet. That's an M60 down. There's an M60 somewhere. I thought I saw an M60. Yeah, it's right here. And this is a 50 cal.
83 pounds.
This is a 50 cal right here. Its effective range is 2,000 yards and it's about 83 pounds.
Finds a suspicious compound surrounded by high walls and laser President Obama gives the final order to take down Bin Laden. Operation Neptune Spear is now underway.
So I feel how heavy these guns are.
Yeah. This is a Shadow Seal. This is a Shadow Seal. It's a unique tactical diving vehicle designed that is able to operate in service in semi-submerged and submerged modes, enabling the discreet and covert transportation of four personnel within the littoral environment.
Jet boots.
Yeah, we saw that on the jet boots on the guy earlier out front.
Yeah.
Frogman's Domain. helicopter here. There's the helicopter right here. This is the minigun, the M134, also known as that, is an American 7.62 51mm NATO 6-barrel rotary machine gun with a high rate of fire, about 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute. So, sea, air, and land. Airborne commandos. Although the origins are in the sea, SEALs are just as adept in the air. SEALs are typically transported to target areas in large C-17 aircraft, then transferred to a fixed wing or rotary aircraft and arrive there via parachutes, fast ropes, propelling, or casting into the water. SEALs use all airframes available to the U.S. military. Another cool. This must have been really interesting to drive. Seat right up here. The 2 seats here. Control. Something interesting is that many people would be surprised to learn that most SEAL operations take place on land, from patrolling on foot over formidable terrain to rapidly inserting small towns via utility terrain vehicles. SEALs must master all methods of land movement, navigation, and communications in order to succeed. Their vehicles must be able to reach destinations reliably and quietly no matter what the condition. And SEALs innovate and employ many pieces of equipment that are unique to special operations units. So that'll be something like this, or that truck right there. indigenous vehicles. Navy SEALs and all special operations forces use vehicles that are common to the area of operation in which they are working. A split second of doubt by the enemy as to whether the vehicle is friend or foe is all the time SEALs need. What it takes to be a Navy SEAL. The only easy day was yesterday. Step 1, 8 weeks of prep school at the Great Lakes Naval Training Command in Great Lakes, Illinois. Step 2, 3 weeks of orientation in Coronado, California. Naval officers join training at this point via the Naval Academy in Annapolis or Officer Candidate School in Newport, Rhode Island. Step 3, begin basic underwater demolition, SEALs, BUDS training, a 6-month course that will test everyone or every ounce of your physical and mental strength. BUDS is broken down into 3 phases. Phase 1, 7 weeks of physical training featuring Hell Week, during which up to 2/3 of trainees drop out. Phase 2, 7 weeks of diving training, which not only steps up the physical training but includes everything from combat diving to long distance dives and surface swims. Phase 3, 7 weeks of land warfare training, featuring everything from explosives to rappelling and small arms training. Wait, you're not done yet. Step 4, 3 weeks of military static line and free fall parachute training near San Diego, California. Step 5, 26 weeks of SEAL qualification training, SQT, where basic skills are honed and additional training in mission planning, operations, tactics, techniques, and procedures begin. Once you complete SQT, you have earned your Trident. Officers report to their SEAL team. Wait, you're not done. Step 6, 30 weeks of additional training for all SEALs, corpsmen, and 8 to 50 weeks of foreign language training for everyone else. Step 7, report to your SEAL team new guy, and earn your Trident every single day. So the rations, I guess, and all that stuff. Challenge coins. I'd be curious to know the significance behind each one. I'd be really curious to know. man left behind. Swim Buddy is an important, time-honored SEAL term that embodies the reality that each SEAL is responsible for each other's safety. Everything SEALs do is accomplished as a team. From day one of basic underwater demolition SEAL training, each student has a swimming buddy or partner, and they go everywhere together. They're swimming, jogging to a meal, preparing for a dive, or being disciplined by an instructor. They are supporting each other. Everything is done together because that's what a SEAL team is about. You all may want to pause the video to kind of read some of this stuff. In Bosnia, was a find and apprehend war criminals, capture this guy. In Haiti, in September 1994, the U.S. intervened in Haiti to remove the military regime installed during the 1991 Haitian coup that overthrew President Jean Bertrand. The mission was named Operation Uphold Democracy and lasted from September 19th of 94 to March 31st of 95. The invasion was to be a forcible entry, but it was averted very last minute with the main force of the invasion just hours from reaching Haiti. Some advanced elements had already infiltrated. An agreement was reached with the leaders of Haiti to step down and deport the country. Gas mask, a canister, decontamination kit right here. After Germany's defeat in the Second World War, the four main allies in Europe, United States, Britain, Soviet Union, and France, took part in a joint occupation of the German state. This is part of the wall right here.
Best educated force America ever sent into harm.
Some more of the equipment here.
97% would be honorably discharged. And today, the vast majority
World War II Finns.
testify with their actions and their words that they are proud of their service and would serve again if called. November 14th, 1965, 10:48 a.m.
Vietnam War. Birth of the Navy SEALs. For SEALs, the war in Vietnam was a jungle war. Movement in most of South Vietnam was limited to waterways because of the southernmost part of the country was at or below sea level. It was difficult to strike at an enemy that seemed to melt away after an attack, and it was more difficult to pursue them with traditional means. The U.S. Navy tasked the SEALs with locating the enemy, reporting enemy movements, and disrupting their infrastructure.
2 years later, Saigon fell. Over those last 2 years, without American and Allied combat forces in the region, casualties in Southeast Asia were double what they had been during the 2 years prior. To our Vietnam veterans who answered the nation's call to serve, we thank you. Your greatness is etched in history from the battlefields of Southeast Asia to the neighborhoods of hometown America, where you continue.
Men with green faces, the SEALs founded or fought in the deltas, the rice paddies, and the rivers. They quickly adopted to enemy practices using small groups, light weapons, and special equipment to hunt down and capture required intelligence. Often this involved obtaining information from various sources, then once acquired, going into the field to locate and destroy key elements of the Viet Cong command structure. The SEALs approached their missions camouflaged, heavily armed, and ready for a cunning and shrewd enemy. Typically, a patrol of 4 or 6 SEALs would be armed with a variety of weapons. The Viet Cong could not know of the SEALs' approach until they were close by literal at arm's length. The Viet Cong so feared the camouflaged SEALs that they dubbed them the Devils with Green Faces.
These men are members of one of the most unique military organizations in history. Behind these green faces are men who have accepted the challenge of some of the most daring assignments given to American fighting men. These are the Navy's SEALs. SEAL teams were organized at the suggestion of President John Kennedy, who realized that it would take special operations to win special kinds of war. For years, the existence of these teams was a Defense Department secret. Now, parts of their story can be told. In an age when most military engagements have become distant and impersonal, SEALs operate in the midst of the enemy.
TRICOM AK-47.
That's M60. That's pretty common throughout the service, where the stoner was kind of unique to the SEAL teams. But we'd take one of those because it cut through the bush, and then we'd take a couple of those that give us a lot of firepower. We'd carry a lot more ammunition for that than we could for that.
Now the drums and stuff, was that the only way, did they clog off?
This weapon actually got a number of different configurations. Here it is configured with a box. Those boxes come preloaded, and just snap them up and shoot them out.
Yeah, did you have
and then here it is configured as a magazine fed. You notice the gas tube is turned up on top.
What was preferred, the drums or the
This one was the one we carried.
the drum was preferred then?
Yeah.
That's interesting though. Huh.
We carried a lot of these too with the 40 millimeter grenade launcher slung underneath. Been
Different differences
a number
though.
of evolutions since that.
Yeah, lots of different variations of it and all that stuff. And
Well, there's, the weapons now are several generations newer.
huh. And it's now. Was there like a preferred weapon by certain members
Well,
and stuff?
it depended on what your job you were doing. We could figure how much ammo we carried and what we carried depended a lot on what we was doing. Like if we were going into people's houses looking for people, I'd carry the shotgun. If we were out in the bush, I'd carry the stun.
Huh. And now, how often would you all clean the weapons? Would you all clean them after every outing? And
Yeah. But we went out every other night.
yeah,
We split the platoon in half, and there was, 7-man team one night, and the other half of the platoon go out the next night. So we had somebody out every night.
yeah, it's out overnight.
Yeah, this is a resume of an overachiever.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. I was in the Navy SEALs. Huh. That is pretty cool, just the overachieving and
He was a SEAL team, he was an astronaut, he was a doctor.
that's a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah.
I know I'd be impressed. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he became I don't know whether he was an astronaut first or a doctor first. I think, well, yeah, he was a doctor before he was an astronaut. He started out in the SEAL team, then he ended up going to, became a doctor.
Huh. Yeah, I think it was afterwards. That's pretty cool. Huh.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Atomic bombs are dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. World War II is suddenly over.
World War II.
Scouts and Raiders. 8 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Scouts and Raider units were formed from the ranks of both U.S. Navy and Army personnel and would eventually serve in China, Burma, India, Europe, North Africa, and the Pacific Theater, and Alaska. In January of '43, the Scouts and Raiders School was relocated from Little Creek, Virginia to Fort Pierce, Florida, where it became the sole responsibility of the U.S. Navy.
Dad, look at this.
Put it around right there.
Dad, the knives and the helmets. My turn. Can we do the one on the other side? Dad. Look over here. Blood.
Guys, you do this one, and when he's done, you do that one.
You don't even know how to do this, Bobby. I don't know.
Who was it? Tom? Other side.
Maybe you could like see which.
Very good, guys.
some of the vehicles that they had. Little delivery vehicle here, MK8 mod. The MK8 mod 0 SDV began replacing the MK7 SDVs in the early 1980s and still remains in service today. The SDV is a wet submersible, and unlike a classic dry mini sub, the boat fills with water and submerges. SEALs breathe from individually worn underwater breathing apparatus. An alternate source of air is provided to the operators via an air subsystem on board the vehicle. The SDV has sophisticated electronics, ballistics, communications, navigation, and obstacle avoidance systems, and is driven by a DC electric motor powered by silver zinc batteries. It is literally flown like an airplane underwater, with SEALs relying solely on the vehicle's instruments and navigation. From its formation on the number of personnel it can carry, its operating depths, speed, and distance is classified. The SDV can be deployed from the recovered, when recovered by a surface ship, submarine, pierside, or ramp to meet specific missions or training requirements. The SDV is designed to transport combat swimmers to and from the target area as they conduct maritime reconnaissance or direct action operations. Here's the rear of this one. Mark. Yep, World War II.
Normandy.
Instructions like this were used to help prevent the boats from getting on shore. This is their memorial garden and stuff here. Thank you for your service. Definitely pretty interesting. They use these types of boats up on the Vietnam, you know, over in Vietnam and sorts, to patrol the river, you know, and help support the SEALs in Vietnam. This is the Apollo space capsule. This module was a training device used by UDT recovery teams during the Apollo space missions to prepare for the actual splashdowns as it hit the water. The frogmen connected a flotation collar around the capsule to prevent it from sinking. Then they opened the hatch and ensured the astronauts were loaded safely on board. The hovering helicopter UDTs played a vital role in Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo space missions. Welcome to the National Navy UDT SEAL Museum, St. Lucie County, Florida. This is Fort Pierce. Some Baton Craft Assault, CCA. Special Operations Craft. Dog over there. This is the MKV Special Operations Craft. MKV is a medium-range SOF assault craft operated by Special Force or Special Warfare combatant craft crewmen. Primarily supports Navy SEALs. The MKV carries 5 crew and 16 fully equipped SEALs. They ride on seats designed for maximum comfort and shock mitigation in high seas or heavy maneuvering. The craft can carry 4 combat rudder raiding crafts with 6 outboard motors and fuel. MKVs are outfitted with 4 gun mounts, which could be outfitted with a combination of weapons systems such as M250 cal machine guns or M240 7.562 caliber machine gun.
That'll be there for each other, on and off the water, regardless of the situation. The ocean is a very unforgiving environment. We need somebody that's going to push through it mentally and physically.
Really interesting with all the setup and all that stuff. And
throughout training, we've given all the graduates the tools and foundation to be a lead.
No, I didn't sit in the seats though, but I'm sure they're pretty comfortable, I'm sure. This was a pretty big operation here. This SOE, or the SOC, Special Operations Craft Ravine. Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna stay out of this. Not my cup of tea. This tower is not for public use. Do not attempt to climb.